Okay, so we will be cutting out our tote bag first. But first, what I'm going to do, 1 yard of fabric would be able to cut out the broad part of the bag. But what I've done, because I want this part in my bag, I really want the center part in my bag here. So I'm just going to fix it here so you can see. So I'm going to make sure I get this front part here of my bag. And I'm just using an Ankara fabric, and this is the right sides. So eventually I will touch right sides over right sides. So this is really the part of the bag that I really like. So yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to take this now and just put it over it. And another thing I want to show you guys is that the salve edge. So let me just explain, because I do the grain line. So this is the salve edge. This is the strongest part of the fabric. This is the edge that you and I cut through with scissors seed spraying off here, right? So this side, I want you to put the fabric down this way, so the salve edge is on this side, as you can see here. If you look at your fabric, you would know where is the salve edge by me explaining this. This is the man-made edge, this is the salve edge. So make sure it's this way, okay? All right, so I'm going to put right sides over right sides. So this is the right side of my bag, and I'm going to turn, this is going to be the right sides touching the right sides. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find the right size, but it depends on the fabric you have. And this is a cotton, or let's say wax. It's a wax fabric. You could use cotton, because remember you're making it from whatever garment you want, right? So I'm going to put it down here. And this is the starting point of my style. So just going to keep my finger on here. Alright, so first bag I'm going to take. First, I just want to show you guys this here. Our label, right? So this is, I have 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 piece of the bag. Okay? So the 4 piece here now, what I'm going to do, remember say I want 2 fabric, 2 lining, and 2 pellon, right? Interfacing. So we're going to be doing that. But what I'm going to do here, just going to explain, this is bag number 1, right? Because remember say we have a lot of pieces. So this is going to be bag number 1. So this is the bag here, of course, right? Just put it so you can see here. Okay. This is bag number 1. So bag number 2 here. So tote bag number 2 says always go to label, because remember I said we were making various different bags. So we had to label our bag. So bag number 2, and this is our pocket. So you're supposed to actually put pockets here. I didn't put pockets here, but just write pockets on yours. So bag number 2, pockets. So we know this is going to be our pocket. Alright, and then this one here now is our, what is that? It's our straps. Alright, and then we want to cut 2 fabric and cut 2 pellon interfacing for our strap, right? So this is our strap. And then we have our, and this is number 3. And then this is our tote bag number 4. So you see, this is our zipper compartment. So this would actually go up to our zipper compartment here on the bag. Alright. So you always want to label, so you know for this tote bag we have 4 different patterns, and we label the pattern 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is straps, this is pocket, this is the actual bag, and this is the compartment here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and lay down all of our rest of pieces. So I'm going to put my lining down as well. So for the lining now, I'm just going to go anyhow, and you can use any lining. On the lining again, I'm going to do make sure I have the salvage. So this is my straight edge here, and this is my man-made edge. So I'm going to fold it accordingly. So I don't want too much, and I'll have to lift up again just to make sure. I'm just going to fold it here. Let's take your time and fold it. I'll fold it in half. There you go. just straighten it up here because I folded in half. Okay, and I'm just gonna look for the marking because I want to make sure that I have it's just me. So I'll start here for my style. So making sure that I'm gonna put a little guide. You don't have to do that, it's just me. I just want to know where my style, because I really want that full style to look in the back. That's why. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the back first. Of course, you can go ahead and pin it down, of course, but I'm not gonna do that. But you can also pin down the fabric to make sure it's straight. So I'm just gonna push this over here so you can see very well. So this is my guide here because I want to come down more. Right. So this is my full back here. So this is the bottom part here. Okay. So you see this is the bottom part here, right? So I'm just gonna pull it down. And I'm gonna make sure that okay. So my style is actually a little bit lower, so I'm just gonna push the back up a bit. Now, it's only because I want all this style. So the end of my style is here, so I'll bring the back down a bit. Good stuff. So I'm actually wasting a lot of fabric just because I want the style. But for you now, if it's the first time making a bag, just try making a bag first before you actually go with styles. Alright, so I'm hoping that you'll see that here. So one thing, I just want to make sure that it's straight, right? Remember I said, just going to pull this here. This is our selvage here. You just want to make sure that the bag is parallel to the selvage. Now, if you're a beginner and you're not sure, I would advise you to pin the fabric. Pin the fabric down to keep it nicely. So let me show you what I mean here. Just pin it down. So you just pin the fabric together to make sure you have it nice and settled, right? Just pin it down together here. Okay, just kind of keep it down together, right? And you want to make sure that this straight arrow is parallel to the selvage. So here, you don't have to measure, just make sure it's straight, okay? Because I don't want to, yeah, so this is almost there. Yeah, just make sure it's this arrow run parallel to your selvage based on how we put it on. All right, so let me bring it over here now. I really want you to understand this. And the reason why I'm emphasizing that, because you don't want when you finish your bag, it's twisted, right? You want to make sure that everything is nice and straight. Okay, so let me go ahead and we're gonna be cutting that out, the first bag out now. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a chalk or a marking tool and we're gonna draw, okay? Just because we don't have, if you want to put like something heavy, you put like a heavy something to keep this down, that's a solution. But what if you don't have, right? This is just a zipper, a bottle. I have my zipper in here. But I will keep it down actually here. But another thing we're gonna do, because we could always move, we just wanna draw. So use your pencil, use your chalk, and just draw the bag exactly as is, okay? Exactly as is. So you make life easier for you. So if you shift, you don't have to hurt your head. Just take your time and go through all the. We'll be cutting it out exact. And this is just to keep your fabric all nice and pretty, and to make sure that we don't shift. Okay, so I'm just gonna come here. Right, so and then here. Good. Then I'm going to use my rotary cutter here, and I'm going to take my time and cut it out. So you could use your scissors as well. It's just that I have a rotary cutter, and you just have to be safe with the rotary cutter and put energy. So this one is not so not so much sharpen. It's always good to get a really sharp one. Okay, so I can see a little shift in here in my bag. Just make sure when using the rotary cutter, your fingers is completely out of the way. Okay, good stuff. Sometimes it's hard to get around the corner, so I'm just gonna, right, okay. Beautiful. Some part of it, because the rotary cutter, I have it a while now, so. Alright, beautiful. So now, what I'll do, I'm just gonna cut this out on the side here. I'm gonna cut here. So this is, if you had to use the scissors, just take your time and cut it exactly on the line. Okay. Now, rotary cutter make life a little bit smoother. I'm just gonna move the table here a bit, so they give you a clean, nice cut. Of course, once the thing working properly. There you go. So this one as well. Excellent. All right. Fabulous. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull this down nicely. Make sure I put everything down together. So any shifting, I could just bring it back up because I already have my line, right? So I'm just gonna take my time and do a clean cut. So just a little spot that I didn't cut out. Perfect. All right. I'm just gonna slide it away. So I have my two fabric and my two lining cut. The next thing I have to cut now is the Kellogg interface for the bag. So I'm just gonna clean out any mishaps around there. That I see need to be clean now, but other than that, I'm happy with it. Okay, so this is exactly my bag here. fabric, and this is what I want. So I got the big thing here. I kind of missed it and decided, but you know what, I'm okay with this. All right, I should have shifted a bit, but it's okay. I get the big part here, so that's good. All right, so let's continue. Okay, so we're gonna cut the pellon off now. So I just cut it separate because it's a little bit too much to cut with the skirt. So the pellon now, it doesn't really matter which side you cut it, just cut it exactly as needed. So I'm just gonna use the top side here. So look at the pellon is so useful. So alright, so the same thing I'm gonna do anyway. Just put this here, and I'll try to use both my okay. So definitely I need to upgrade my rodeo cutter. Alright, so this is good. So for here now, what I'll do, I'm just gonna cut it out here. Okay, so I have some stuff in the way here, so alright, so that's good here. And continue here. Okay, so let me just start here. Take your time if you're using a rodeo cutter, or you could just use your scissors. You see when I said take your time? Because if I miss, I could have easily slice off my hand. Alright, you don't want that. So just take your time if you're using it. And of course, you are on your own risk, but safety is key, right? This one is not so usually when you're using them, they're much sharper than this. Okay, I'll just run it again. So that one is done. Alright, so we'll continue with the next ones. Okay, so we have the other three pieces left, the pockets, the zipper compartment, and the straps. So what I'm going to do, because I want to utilize my scrap fabric, we could also get a fabric and put everything down, but because I want to utilize the scrap, I want to do it piece by piece. So I'm just going to use these two first, and then we're going to do the pockets last. So the first thing I want you to do here is just to make sure that this is your selvage. So I turn it from this way, I turn it the other way here now. So this is my selvage here, and this is my man-made edge. This is the edge we cut through. You can see it's fraying out here, right? So this is my selvage, And remember, this is my grain line. I want my grain line to go parallel towards my salvage. So just keep that in mind. Just make sure your salvage run this way, your grain line must run the same way. It cannot run this way. Okay, because my salvage is this way. So it would be impossible for me to put it this way, except, you know, I have to make a compromise. But in this case, we are good. So we are going to turn it this way. So I am going to also put pellon interfacing. So this is the stiff, the same one you see me cut a while ago. I'm going to put this one here, and we're going to put this right over here like this. Right, so just here and here. Just going to straighten that up. So I just want you to see it. Okay, so we're going to put it here. I'm just going to use this as my guide right in the edge here. Okay, now what you could go ahead and do also, you could pin, because if you have if you're using like regular paper, you could pin it. The other paper I was using, it was like a kind of cardboard, so it was hard to pin, but this one I could pin it, so I'm just going to pin it down. Alright, just going to pin it down nicely. And one thing you could always try your best to do is, when you're making the strap for the pellon, make sure the pellon, if you could get one continuous pellon, it will make life a little bit easier.